Hey guys, what's up? It's Kaylee and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be telling my sophomores, or giving my sophomores some advice for the upcoming school year. I really struggled sophomore year, I'm not gonna lie, which is why I'm making this video. If I look down at my phone, it's because I wrote down like everything on my phone that I'm going to share with you in this video. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, so the first tip I have for you guys is to stay organized. Now I know this is like pretty obvious, but it's just true. Like, I can't stress it enough. Organization is key to being successful in life. And if your stuff is all over the place, for example, like if you put all your work in one binder, I know people do that, but if you put all your work in one binder and don't like at least use like dividers separating your classes, if you just throw everything in there when you get it, everything's gonna get all mixed up and you're not gonna know where anything is. It's gonna be really stressful. And when that's a mess, your life's a mess. So if you're gonna put everything in one binder, make sure you use like dividers or whatever. But personally, what works for me, I like to color code my binders and folders for specific classes. So for example, like geometry is gonna be like yellow folders, and chemistry is pink, Spanish blue, things like that, because I feel like it's just easier for me to like open up my bag, be like, oh, I'm in chemistry, so I need to, you know, take out the pink stuff. That's just what works for me. And I know it's more materials, and that's why a lot of people like to just get like one binder for all their classes, which is fine. But like I said, if you're gonna do that, make sure you at least organize your binder in a way that you're not just throwing everything in there. You know what I'm saying? Also, with your backpack, I feel like a lot of people do that same thing. They just kind of throw everything in there, and then they kind of like can't find things, lose things. So I would recommend putting everything in the same place. So like, I don't know, my backpack has different like pockets, and so I have like my binders in the very back, and I have my folders in the very front, and like my planner, a certain one. And that's just because then I know, like when I open up my bag, if I need a binder, I know which like zipper to open, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that just works for me. Obviously throughout the year things can kind of get all messed up, but try to keep everything in the same spot that it always is, because then it's just easier to find things. The second tip I have is to not get involved in drama. I feel like sophomore year is the year that a lot of drama happens. Every year has its own, you know, drama, but I feel like sophomore year really brings a lot of drama. So just try not to get involved with it. Just like, I know sometimes it is kind of hard to stay out of drama, but try the best you can. Don't cause it. Just be the bigger person, okay? Walk away from it. Don't add on to it. Don't make it worse. Don't waste your time on things that aren't going to matter in like 3 minutes, okay? The third tip I have is to show up to school. If you know me personally, you know that I missed a lot of days this past year in my sophomore year, and it was because there was just a lot going on, mentally, physically, emotionally. It was rough, and I'm not going to talk about it in this video because it's not what this video is. But it was very hard for me, and so I missed a lot of school because of it, which led on to me not being successful academically. And I'm all about grades. I'm in junior honor society. I'm all about like getting good grades and being successful in life. But it was really hard last year, and it just got to a point where going to school made things worse, not academically obviously, but like just personally. And I missed a lot of school. But don't be that person that just skips school, you know. I wish it was just me skipping school. That's so easy to fix, like just get up and go. But with how I was doing like mental and stuff, it wasn't just like go. I tried multiple times, but there were just days where I couldn't. And like I said, I'm not gonna go into it in this video. But don't be that person that just skips school because they want to play video games, or don't be that person, okay? Oh my god, like it annoys me. I know people do it. People in my school do it, I know. And don't be that person, okay? You need to be at school because you need to learn, you need to get an education. And if you're just sitting home to play video games all day, like you're not gonna get anywhere in life, I'm sorry. But obviously people get sick and people, things happen, and sometimes there's days where we can't get to school. So this is kind of like a tip and a tip, but if you are absent, email your teachers if you can. I know like some people can email their teachers, some people can't, but if you can, please do it. This was a lifesaver for me this past year, and I'm definitely going to do it in the future. But what it does is like you can not only tell them why you're not there so they can understand you better, but you can be given what you're missing. And I know people just really text their friends like, hey, what I miss in class today, blah, blah, blah. But I still would do that, but I feel like emailing my teachers was just like the better option because it's physically from them. And I know that some teachers do like online assignments, but I feel like still a lot of it these days is like physical assignments that you like, they give you a piece of paper, and if you're not there, you don't get that piece of paper. So what I did, which I recommend, it makes you kind of seem annoying, but I promise you it's a lifesaver, and I hope you have friends that will do this for you. I would actually text a friend and ask them if they could go, like, I usually did it if they like had that same teacher, they were in the same class as me. What I would do is I would ask them if they could like get an extra assignment for me and drop it off to my house. And like I said, I know that seems kind of, out of their way, like a waste of their time, but I'm sure you all have friends that'll be that person to do that for you. I know, like, if you're watching this and you are one of those people, you know who you are. Thank you, you helped me out so much. But yeah, just if you can, like, see if your friends can like drop it off to you or whatever. And I have a friend that lives like walking distance from me, so she would always like come drop off in my mailbox my work, and she's just so nice. I love her so much. Such a good friend. And basically what this does too is like if you email your teachers, it shows that like you care and that you're responsible enough to like, even though you're sick or whatever and you're not there, like you still care about getting your work done, because just because you're sick or whatever doesn't mean that you're excused from the work just because you're like absent or something. I know there are certain cases where your teachers will kind of be a little lenient and like, hey, like she's been out for a few days, blah blah blah, I'll excuse this assignment for her or whatever. But the majority of the time you still have to get it done. And if you email your teachers while you're out, it just shows that like, hey, I know I'm not there, but I still care about getting my work into, and sorry, I can't really put my words together today, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Just show up, but if you're not, still do something about it, okay? There. The fourth tip I have is to have a good relationship with your teachers. I know this can be easier said than done, but it really isn't that hard to do. I personally feel like having a good relationship with my teachers makes me want to actually go to school and like go to class more, because it's not fun to go somewhere where you feel like you can't even really vibe with someone. I don't know. It's like I noticed that because obviously there's classes where I have teachers that I don't really vibe with, and then I have classes where like I vibe with the teacher. So I noticed that being in the classrooms where I vibe with the teacher, it's a lot more fun. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, if you were to go to a party, would you hang out with your best friend or would you hang out with someone you don't talk to? Like, you'd hang with your best friend because it's more fun, It's that kind of thing. So if you have a good relationship with your teachers, I feel like you'll just have a lot better of an experience, and like just a lot better I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know you guys know what I'm talking about though. It's just better to have a good relationship with your teachers than to not. It's really not that complicated. Just do your work, get to class on time, be nice, talk to them, ask them how they're doing. It's not that hard. Just be nice, okay? Be nice to your teacher. They are very hard workers, and you need to appreciate them for all they do, okay? Okay. And the last tip I have, which I know nobody's gonna like, but I'm gonna say anyways, that is to study. I feel like sophomore year is the year where your classes start to really, get a little bit harder, and studying is just really, really important because, you all know why studying is important, but I feel like it's just said so much that nobody does it anymore. I don't know. It made no sense really, but it's good to remind yourself, like, hey, you know, if I study, I'll do better. And I know a lot of people, they go around like, oh, when I study, I feel like I do worse. And I've said that before myself too. It felt right. It felt like I was correct. But in all honesty, like, maybe you just got lucky with not studying. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Like, studying is just really, really, really important, and overall will help you, I promise. Like, let's say it doesn't help you that specific test, but it might help you during the final, whatever, you know? So I recommend going over the material each day. Like, so like when you learn something, go over it that night instead of going over it all, like all the material you learned right before the test. I do that all the time, and I'm definitely going to work on it this year, but that's why I want to share it with you guys this year. It's like, don't wait till the day before the test to go over everything you learned, because you probably forgot some things. So if you go over it each and every day, your brain has more time to remember the information. And if you didn't know, your brain, when you sleep, you retain it, your brain wants to retain the information that you learned that day. So if you're not sleeping either, like, is kind of another tip, but tip and a tip. If you're not sleeping, your brain doesn't get the chance to do that, which is why when you don't get enough sleep, it's harder to retain information, because your brain doesn't have that time to be able to retain it, you know? So if you go over the material each day and get enough sleep, I promise you, your life will be 10 times easier. But I feel like another good tip that I haven't done, but I feel like I definitely want to try this year, because it sounds like it would like be a good thing to do. That's to each day write, instead of just going over what you learned, write down what you learned, and like put it all in like on the same sheet of paper, like each day, like what you learned. So then when it is the day before the test, you can look over all that you learned. But I know that kind of seems like you just said not to go over all the stuff before the test. You're not going over all that right before the test, because each and every day you were writing it. And if you're writing it, you're going over it. So you're still going over it each and every day, but then when you're all done, when it's the day before the test, you can actually look over everything and see, like, what are some things you need to... Hey guys, so I'm filming this video and it says that it needs to cool down before I can use it. Oh, that is really hot. Okay, interesting. Okay guys, I'm sorry about that. My iPad got really hot, so it stopped the filming. I don't really know exactly where I left off, but I think it was at the part where basically when it's the day before the test and you've written everything all down, you can look at the things you need to like work on, like focus more on, you know, so that when, you know, you do take the test, you hopefully know the information. So yeah, just please, 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 please make a promise that you will study this year. I promise you that I will. I wish I studied more last year. I did not study last year. I just didn't study as much as I should have and as efficiently as I should have. So I'm definitely going to work on that this year, and it should help me a lot. But yeah, that is all the tips I have for you guys for surviving sophomore year. You can do it. I did it, and I went through some crazy stuff, so I hope you can do it, or I know you can do it too, but I hope that these tips help you. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any other video ideas that you would like me to film, just let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye guys. Oh, make sure you subscribe. I never said that. What? Okay, bye.